What if a simple, quiet morning walk could somehow reach 12 million people in just 2 days? Well, today, we're going to dive into an incredible true story about exactly that: a man, a cat, and a quiet act of love that ended up echoing across the entire globe. All right, before we get into the how and the why of this beautiful story, let's just start with the result. Because honestly, the sheer scale of what happened here is, well, it's what makes this whole thing so unbelievable. 12 million. I mean, think about that for a second. That's more than the entire population of some countries, all watching one simple video in just a short amount of time. It found a massive global audience. And here's the part that's just wild. All of this, it happened in just 48 hours. 2 days. That's all it took for this quiet little moment to go from complete absurdity to an actual global phenomenon. So that's the big question, right? How? How did a quiet morning walk, something that happened every single day, suddenly become this global event? What was it about this one specific routine that just resonated so deeply with millions and millions of people? What made it so special? Okay, so to really get the answer, we have to go back, way back to the beginning. We need to meet the two main characters at the very heart of this whole thing. So, first, you've got Arthur. He's 93 years old, and then you have his partner in crime, his faithful companion for so many years, a 15-year-old cat named Luna. And you know, the real magic of this story, it isn't found in some big dramatic moment. Nope. It's found in something much quieter. It's in a daily, unwavering ritual. It's really just a story about an everyday act of love. You could almost set your watch by the routine. It was such a study in gentle patience. First, Arthur would get this little wooden cart ready. Then, very carefully, he'd place a soft blanket inside. And Luna, well, she'd take her sweet time, slowly climbing in and getting settled just right. And only then, when she was ready, their walk would begin. And look, this was anything but a random stroll. It was a rhythm they shared. They always took the same route, they always made the same stops, and they always moved at the same gentle pace, day in, day out. It was like their own special conversation, you know? No words needed. So, how on earth did this super private, personal ritual suddenly become this huge public thing? How did the entire world get a peek into Arthur and Luna's quiet life? Well, the funny thing is, it was a total accident, just a complete fluke. It wasn't planned, it wasn't scripted. It was just a moment of pure, simple sweetness. His granddaughter saw what was happening, filmed it on her phone, and just posted it. Probably didn't think twice about it. And the response? Wow. It was instant. And it was overwhelming. The second that video was posted, it just exploded, hitting that unbelievable 12 million view mark in just 2 days. But you know, those numbers, as staggering as they are, they don't even begin to tell the whole story. The real impact wasn't in the view count. It was in the powerful, deeply human response that came flooding in from every corner of the globe. We're talking about people from all over the world, from at least 40 different countries. And they didn't just watch, they felt this need to respond, to connect, to be a part of the story themselves. And here's where it gets kind of beautiful and a little bit ironic. You have the whole world reaching out, sharing these incredible stories, sending so much love, but all these messages are pouring in languages that Arthur couldn't even read. This massive global connection was happening, but it was getting lost in translation. And this is what brings us right to the very heart of the story. It brings us to the real answer to that question we asked at the start. What made this whole thing so special? So, to try and bridge that language gap, his granddaughter sits down with him in his cozy armchair, and she starts translating all these messages from around the world. And just picture that for a second. This massive, global, online audience, and then this quiet, intimate moment between a grandfather and his granddaughter. So Arthur, he's just listening to all of this, quietly taking in this absolute flood of love and kindness from total strangers from all across the planet. And after he's heard it all, he doesn't look at the phone, he doesn't look at his granddaughter, he just looks down at Luna, who's curled up, sleeping peacefully on his lap. And then he says, "See, I told you people would understand." And just boom, in that one sentence, he explained everything. He knew. He knew all along that what he was doing, this act of pure love, this daily devotion, it was a universal language. It was something everyone, everywhere could understand. It didn't need any translation at all. And Luna, it's like she understood every single word. She just purred, didn't move an inch, just perfectly content, perfectly safe. It's the perfect end to that scene, right? Just confirming that completely unbreakable bond they had. So, when you boil it all down, this was never really a story about going viral or about technology or algorithms. It was a powerful reminder that the simplest acts of quiet, genuine love, well, they can echo all around the world. And it kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? What would you do for your pet?